Hey, welcome back. In this video, we will discuss how we can properly label our input elements. So if I just go to the browser currently right now, this is the GitHub page here. As you can see, they are using the placeholder text as well. But with the placeholder text, they are using this particular labels for each of the inputs, and it is quite good. Basically, these labels indicate like, hey, this particular input is for the email. This label indicates like, hey, this particular input is for the password. And the main benefit comes when the people who are visually impaired uses the screen readers. Then what will happen? These inputs are connected and the screen reader will tell like, hey, this is for the password input, this is for the email input, and so on and so forth. So for the accessibility purposes, properly labeling our inputs is quite important. Okay. And also, if you just click on this particular email, I am clicking on the email label. As you can see, this particular input is now selected. Okay, so we will see how we can do this. Okay, so if I just go inside of the MDN, so this is the label element. Okay, to basically have the label, we have to use the label element. The label HTML element represents a caption for an item in the user interface. Okay, so what I will do here, I will add the labels for each of our inputs. Okay, so let's go here. Let's do that for the username. First of all, what I'll do, I'll just add a p tag. Okay, and inside of the p tag, I will just add this input. And here what I'll do, I will create a label. Okay, and now as you can see, VS Code is auto-completing for this for attribute inside of the label. I will get back to the for attribute in a moment. So now I can just type here username. Okay, all right. If I just save that right now, as you can see, we are having this username and this is the input. Now, if I just click on this particular username, as you can see, I am not selecting this particular input. Why is that? So to do that, what we have to do, we have to use the for attribute here. So for what we have to do, we have to have the ID for the particular input here. So what I have to do, I have to do something like username. Okay, so this label is for username, and for this input, we will have the ID, which has to be username. So this for attribute and the ID attribute inside of the input has to be the same. Okay, if I now save that and go to the browser, and now if I just click on this username, as you can see, my input is getting selected. Okay, and now I can type something right here. Okay, awesome. So let's do that for all of the inputs which we have. Okay, it will be a great practice. And also, as you can see, I am just using a paragraph element here. We have some other elements which are better suited for grouping up the elements. So I am just grouping up this label and this input. So that is why I am using the paragraph elements. But when we will be learning about the divs and the spans and so on, we will use those elements instead of the paragraph element. But for now, this is good. Okay, all right. So P, and inside of that, I will just add this email input, and here I will add a label for email. Okay, and I will do something like email. Okay, all right. And here I will add the ID, which is email. So here, as you can see, this email and this email. So the for attribute here and the ID has to be the same. Let's do that one more time. Paragraph. Okay. Label. All right. And it is for the age basically. So age. Okay. All right. And for the ID, it will be age. Okay. All right. So let's do that for this one as well. Paragraph, input, and then label. All right. It is for the password. 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 Okay. All right. And for the ID, it has to be password. Once again, this for attribute value and the ID for this particular input has to be the same. Okay. And the last one is for the URL. Okay. So P, and let's add that label. Okay. So this is for the GitHub profile. So what I'll do, I'll just do something like GitHub. Okay. So GitHub. All right. And for here, the ID has to be GitHub. All right. So after saving all of that, as you can see, we are having all of the inputs with their proper labels. So as you can see, this is for the username, this is for the email, this is for the age, this is for the password, and this is for the GitHub. And one thing to remember here, please do not mess up the IDs. Okay, so for example, if I just copy this username ID and just paste it down here for the GitHub, so let's see what will happen. There will be some peculiar things will happen. So if I just click on this username, as you can see, this is now selected, and okay, so this is now selected. So please do not mess up the IDs. So I will just add the GitHub here. Okay. All right. So it will be properly labeled with the proper inputs. Okay. So if you mess up the IDs and the for attributes inside of the label, right, then the screen reader will get confused, and at the end the user will get confused. So don't do that. So this is how we can properly label our inputs inside of HTML forms. Okay. All right. Always use the labels to label the inputs inside of the HTML form. This is very important, especially for the people who are using screen readers. Okay. Awesome.